I believe personally, along with many scholars that I've looked up into, whether it be the Matthew Henry Concise or others that I've looked into, and I've seen that they are unsure as to after Tuesday when Jesus walked in and had to correct everything that was going on inside the temples, that maybe he just realized, oh, maybe I'm getting too angry. I can't be angry. I can't be upset. I can't be frustrated. I can't let them see a certain side that they don't need to see because I am soon have all the power in my hands and be seated at the right head of the majesty. I have to calm down and be silent. The assumption is that on Wednesday, Jesus did something that he often does in many situations after he takes care of the people. He was okay with doing something that many people need to learn how to do. He did what he needed. He took care of the business. He handled the situation. He was solution oriented and not problematic. And after he got done with all of those issues he was dealing with, he was okay with silence. He didn't have to say anything. He didn't necessarily have to do anything. He just moved about because he knew what was getting ready to come about and he knew what was getting ready to happen. And then the assumption and thought is around this time, this is when we get the situation of him talking to two of his disciples saying, go find that donkey I told you about, that the situation. No, I'm sorry, forgive me. He talked about getting the people together to come to a place, to a certain house. This is a certain house now where all of the disciples with him were coming together. The assumption is it was just the apostles. No. Most texts say disciples. So that means almost any and everybody that might have been with him up to this point. But what's amazing is when you get ready to get to certain levels and deal with new things, certain people, they can't stick around too much longer. Some of them have already left. Some of them have already moved on, and now what was once a great big crowd is now dwindling down to just a few people here and there, and you're still wondering who's with you, who's not with you, who's with you because it looks good, who's there for the show, who's there for the opportunity, who's just there to get something out of it and not really there for you. Jesus gets all of these people together. He says we're going to have supper. It was common that when you come in with for supper, you would remove certain garments and remove certain things so that nothing would be in your way. It's not this thing that we do today that we have the whole entire table set up and you gotta have white gloves. It wasn't anything cute. It was relationship oriented. To give a slight example as to how different it wasn't like your Thanksgiving to where you have this beautifully spread out table. And sometimes it's surrounded by people who don't even like each other. People who don't even know the bigger picture. No, it wasn't that at all. And everybody sat on the floor. Some kind of lay down and just relaxed. And they had certain items and amenities on this table. But out of everything that could have been on the table, we only know about two of those things on the table. And just to give you a reflection, Matthew 26 and 26 through the 29th verse, and it says, and as they were eating, Jesus took bread, he blessed it, and he broke it. And he gave this to his disciples and said, take, eat. But then he said something weird. This is my body. Everybody's looking around. What is he talking about? Then he says, this is the cup. Take this cup, this cup, this cup. And I'll drink it with you. But I won't drink it again with you, really, until we get to my Father's kingdom. And all of them looking around, still confused. Did he just say this is blood? Because Jesus did mention inside of that, this is the blood of the new covenant. Trying to get a new covenant. What is he talking about? See, when we read these things today, we're reading them looking backwards, but they're looking at them having to look forward. And like anything in life, we all struggle with looking forward. That's why so many people slip backwards. And so Jesus sets up what we now call communion. But what I've learned in this moment of Jesus leading up to the cross, that he was doing some of his most dynamic teaching. He sets the bread right in front of him. Bread that we utilize every day, bread that we have some capacity of dealing with in some area of life, whatever it may be, no matter where you go, whatever culture the case may be, there is a form of bread that people utilize. You have soup bowls for bread, you have bread that you dip, you have bread that you put food inside of, you have bread, all different kinds of bread, focaccia bread, ciabatta bread, all kinds of bread. But this bread was a different kind of bread. This was a bread that has never been seen before. Yet they have seen this bread before. And no one knew the bread that Jesus was talking about. He was talking about the bread of life. And so he takes the physical bread, the bread that is right in front of them. And when he takes the physical bread, he then memorializes this bread. It's as if he's putting things in order. He memorializes this bread. And he's manifesting the bread. Now that doesn't make sense. How could he take the physical bread and be doing all of that at the same time? Because if it's a memorial bread, then that means something has happened to the bread, that we would need to memorialize it. Because he says, do this in remembrance of me. But what do we need to remember, Jesus? I don't understand. What are you doing? How could he be manifesting bread that's sitting in his hand? I don't understand. And how could you be, brother, manifesting and memorializing this bread all at the same time? And we're supposed to find something new in it. Manifested. Memorial. But there's something else. There's the mystical that he is manifesting inside of this. What am I saying? He took the physical bread, which was the bread in his hand. But Jesus himself is the bread of life. And he gave the physical bread to the body, which is known as the bread. That's the mystical body, the people, that's you and me. And when he gave them the body, he said, take, eat, for this is my body. And he's memorializing a body that has not been prepped or prepared, so to speak, and has not been removed from this earth. That is his body. So he gave them a physical manifestation of a spiritual thing that they could never comprehend. It is also called an anthropomorphic term. So Wednesday, he says nothing at all after tearing up the temple because people were selling doves and doing all of whatever they wanted to do. And Thursday, now he's talking about blood and bread. The blood and the bread. The blood that will drip to the ground and allow us to be a part of his DNA, but the bread that we eat daily. We eat daily to give us the energy we need to manifest the things that we need. The bread that we eat daily, the mystical, so we can learn how to have faith. And faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But by it, the elders obtain a good rapport. We get to see the elders who obtained it, but we are still in the pressing toward and reaching toward the mark. For the memorial body, a day that one day we again, over and over and over, should be hoping and rehearsing in our minds to believe it will happen, that we will hear the memorial moment that Jesus says on the other side. Not what's said at the funeral, but on the other side. Job well done. And though it may be scary, but it's the reality. That's what we all should be seeking and working for. Jesus is working himself to this moment because I think someone's coming. Oh, it's Friday morning. I know I asked for you to remove the bitter cup, but not my will. Thy will be done. It's Friday morning. It's almost 3 o'clock. In about 24 hours, the same way the sun is not shining right now behind me outside, because it's 2:10 in the morning, it's the same way that sun won't shine when Jesus is on that cross. A day the sun has never seen, and a day the sun will never have to see again. But the sun went through it all for us to be able to say, good morning.